Yo, what's good? What's good? Listen, this is very fresh. This is very new. But I want to start a series of sorts where I just yap. You know what I'm saying? Where I just become the Yapatron. But with that being said, all jokes aside, the thing that has been resonating with me very strongly as of late is putting one foot in front of the other. Um, the call to action, as many would say. Um, and I don't want it to be performative. I don't want this idea of creation to be performative or to be scripted or to have like a 1 2 3 4 kind of thing. Like a 1 2 3 4 sequence. Excuse me. Usually I'm very spontaneous when it comes to the way in which I express myself. And oftentimes that leads into tangents, which is very possible. So please stick with me. Hopefully, I can make sense of everything that is that I'm saying. But with that being said, one foot in front of the other. The thoughts are coming straight to my mind as I say that. And I want you to like perceive that for a second and just think of what that means to you. One foot in front of the other. Now, we could be just talking about when you leave your house for the morning to start your shift, to bring the kids to school, to go to school, to whatever aspect of your life, putting one foot in front of the other means. Like a lot of the times we have this idea, this thought of something that is that we want to do. For instance, this thing right here, what I'm doing right now is putting one foot in front of the other. I want to be able to speak in front of audiences. I want to be able to touch people's hearts in a way that inspires them to be greater and in a way that inspires them to do better. Um, and I realized like the only way to do that is to put one foot in front of the other. It's the call to action, right? But it's answering the call to action. And so the call to action is really the thought. You know, um, I'm a firm believer in God, and I believe that nothing passes within your frame of consciousness, right? That isn't meant for it to be there. And at times, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's good or bad. Whatever it is that does pass through your mind, like whatever transmissions that you receive from the unknown can be random. It could be good, it could be bad, right? And I think a lot of the times we try to identify what good things come and what bad things come through our mind as far as thoughts go. We receive these transmissions from what could be other entities, from what could be God, right? These ideas. And I like the thought of people saying like I had like I wish I would have made that song. I've heard artists say this before. They say I wish that would have made that song, but whoever made that song, like Michael Jackson, like I wish I could have made the Michael Jackson bad, but it was God, right? The ultimate creator flowing through Michael Jackson creating that song. And I like to think like that. That's just a frame of reference for me. That's a way in which I like to think, just to be able to like attribute creativity and freedom of expression and love and obviously all things that I would comprehend as good. I like to attribute it with God. But besides that, the idea of putting your foot one foot in front of the other is like so profound, the amount of thought that goes into putting the first step, right? The amount of time that it takes to put that one foot in front of the other. It's actually more time pondering and thinking on taking the first step than it is actually taking the first step. It's like the leap of faith. And I realized within my life, something I'd like to share is that a lot of the times it's the fear of success that I have that holds me back from taking that first step, right? It's also just the fear of the unknown. I don't know what this is going to look like in my life. I don't know what this might take me, where this path might take. Excuse me. I don't know where this path might take me. I don't know how I'm going to get this done. I don't know how or why I see the things in my mind that inspire me so much, that breed a passion within me, that nudge me that tells me, yo, get up and go do something. Go do something with this thing that you love, this passion, this creativity, expression. And it's really a sense of purpose. It's a sense of purpose that draws me in to this one thing. And for instance, is really just being able to speak to people and inspire people, and the actual conversation of life that a lot of times we avoid, the traumatic conversations that we avoid, the conversations that are uncomfortable. Um, a lot of these things take so much, right? That or we perceive them to take so much energy, to be draining, to be tough, but really it's taking the first step. A lot of the times we over complicate things in our minds, and I'm speaking from experience, of course. Taking the first step is really just breaking the ice, and you'll see that when you finally take that step and you observe how things are unfolding within this one area after you take the step. um Something takes a step towards you. Like I've heard this from a pastor, that I went to the church. um I went to church and I heard this from the pastor. His name is Pastor Eli. He said, when you take a step to God, he takes 10 steps to you. And I truthfully and wholeheartedly believe that if you're living out the truth within your heart, and you are using your ultimate intention, your passion, your expression, your creativity, the things that motivate you in the highest forms, and that they're not just lower level experiences. They're not I don't want to say lower level experiences, but they're not just surface level things. They're not surface level experiences. They're not surface level drives. It's like a real burning deep passion that lives with inside you. And if you live through your heart with all love at the forefront, that you will ultimately attract or experience the things that are necessary in order for you to continue to take the next step. And that being authentic and being who it is that you really are at the core of it, not just the person that you want to be, not just the face and the mask that you put on to for people to see you, so that you're just almost, you know tiptoeing by, with this false, this personality that isn't even you, that isn't real, that you're just tiptoeing over people's opinions, you know and and not being authentic, not being who it is that you truthfully are within. And that's at the expense of your own sanity, of your own peace, and oftentimes, um I think that we are docile in terms of the almost animal instinct it takes to take the first step, to be fearless, to say, you know what, this is scary, this is tough, this is weird, this might look cringe, this is gonna make people feel uncomfortable, this makes me feel uncomfortable, I don't like it. You know what I mean? But we have to break down the veil. We have to create the opportunity, we have to break the wall down in order to see like what the next step might even say. I think Jordan Peterson said this, but he says taking the first step is the hardest thing, but once you take the first step, the thing about taking the first step is that you might not even see the second step or the third step until you take the first step. And that's actually the most important step. And everything after that is just like a snowball effect. Now there's gonna be obviously there's absolutely going to be, barricades and obstacles that you need to cross in order to get to the next step. But that's just a matter of resistance. That's a natural thing, and we experience that in our day to day lives. And so I want to bring it back to one foot in front of the other. This is my example of one foot in front of the other. Whether or not something makes sense, whether or not I look stupid trying to speak, whether it resonates with anybody, whether it creates a dialogue, whether it inspires someone, whatever it is that I'm doing right now in this moment, I'm hoping that this is my audition for the first step. This is my audition for the first step. This is the rollout for the first step. This is the red carpet for the first step. I need people to understand how important it is to even have the thought in the first place, to even receive the thought, to even ponder on it. Is very important because it can't sometimes it's a phenomena of just being tapped into to the creator, tapped into God or the universe. He's allowing you to have a higher consciousness, to see that you might be able to do something, that you might be able to create something, that you might have purpose in the areas of your life that you excel at. And I'm not saying that I'm the smartest, the greatest, the best, the most intellectual, the most articulate, but I am saying that I'm willing to investigate these areas of my life where I have potential and where we might be able to succeed at. And I hope that this is the first step of many for not only myself, but for the people around me to experience themselves, to experience the people around them, and to instill peace, love, and prosperity in the lives of themselves and our people around them. Because the thing about a blessing and the thing about positivity and negativity is that once you give, for instance, I'm gonna use positivity is just a greater light, and the light is green. We talk about love. When you are positive in someone's life, let's say, for instance, you have a child and you give this child love and grace and peace. By the time they get to school, they're given the whole class love, grace, and peace. And by the time you know it, the whole school got love, grace, and peace. They all go home to their families. They got love, grace, and peace. They experience that. That's a snowball effect. It's a domino effect. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, and it takes one, right, to change the world, and that's how it happens through other people. And listen, we could all sing kumbaya. We could all be happy, right? But there's very real things happening out here. And so it's no time to live in fear. It's no time to be scared of your potential. It's no time to be afraid of how good you are at what you love. It's not no time to be afraid of being seen. You know what I'm saying? It's time to kick the walls down. It's time to kick the doors down. It's time to create opportunities for yourself. It's time to be who you are, who God made you, and that's the truth in all its entirety. And so I just hope and pray that this makes it past the early stages of who it is that I want to be. You know, who it is and what it looks like to take one step and put it in front of the other. I hope this is the first of many opportunities for myself to overcome the fear of not only being seen, but of taking the first step, of looking stupid, of being cringe, of being worried, of having fear and still working through it. Not having a script. I don't have a script. I don't have a book. I don't have a pad. I don't It's just me, you, and God. And I hope it's like that every single time. And with that being said, there's nothing else more for me to say than this is the first step in many that I will take in order to get closer to who it is that I want to be and who it is that I think, excuse me, and who it is that I believe that God wants me to be. Not only that, but it's one foot in front of the other. And if anything, I hope that it is the inspiration for many more people to put one foot in front of the other. And you know what? I'll say this: I'll put one foot in front of the other and I won't look back. And every time I take one more step, I'll be further from where I came. And I just, and I, one more time, I pray, hope, and wish that every single person that experiences what I'm talking about, they experience that same thing. One foot in front of the other and don't turn back. And now we could be going in circles, but I got to repeat it one more time. one foot in front of the other. Chad, listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all could have been anywhere else in the world, but y'all came to chill with the boy. Peace, love, prosperity. God bless you. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Peace.